I crazy or does this stuff look kind of cool? Day 2, having left Korog, and I'm at about 10,000 feet in elevation, or just over 3,000 meters in elevation. The highest point on this road is going to be 15,000 feet, so I got 5,000 feet more to go. This is the most gradual way to go, east to west. Yeah, I read that it was gradual, but I had no idea it would be this gradual. So you're basically going a little over 1 kilometer in elevation for every 90 to 100 kilometers. So maybe a 2% grade on average. And of course you have times where you have big hills and they go back down. You're doing like this a little bit. But it's nowhere near as bad as what the roads were like earlier in my trip through Tajikistan, because I'm in a big valley now, where previously you were right next to the river. And so the roads are going up and down a lot more, because they're just along this sheer cliff and they're having to follow the topography of the mountains more. Here you're just on the valley. Sorry I'm out of breath, like I am feeling the elevation for sure. So yeah, and I got a tailwind too, so it's really not that bad. And as you can see, the roads are great, the roads are fine. So far, I heard after Morgab, the roads get a little gnarly again. But, I mean, there's little villages dotted everywhere around here. So far, it really hasn't been as crazy desolate and difficult as everybody is making it out to be. Now, the hardest part is coming up later in my trip, of course, but you know, I'm 3/4 of the way through Tajikistan. So this really difficult, desolate part that people are talking about, it's probably going to take me a few days. I mean, it'll be such a small portion of the trip, since, I don't know, this is all pretty lush and I got tons of villages and opportunities to buy eggs and ramen and things like that. Yeah, so far not too bad. Good to have a SIM card or else you can't get these stores open, I guess. Salam, открыть ваш магазин? Что? Shouldn't really say anything, but I think they're gonna open it. There she is. Selam.
Excuse me.
Hey, come on. It's funny, I like went to the market and bought like some eggs and things, and then I asked the lady, like, do you have tomatoes? And she goes, tomatoes? No, I don't have tomatoes. This is the Pamir. There's no tomatoes in the Pamir. So, I guess it's gonna be a while till I can find fresh produce again. They do have onions and potatoes and stuff, just not like the super perishable things, I guess, like tomatoes. I actually hate eggs. But out here, I've kind of fallen in love with eggs because it's just such a good food source. It's like my body knows it's what I need. So I've actually been enjoying them, which is weird. watching me eat eggs. Okay. So I just had a poop there, and the road is just right there. Everybody talks about how vast and empty the Pamir highway is, but nobody ever talks about how it makes it really difficult to find like a good poop spot. There's no trees or anything, and there's not any like big rocks that you can hide behind. So yeah, you can't really be poop shy. You just gotta get up and go for it. Also, my back crown just popped out of my tooth. Wasn't expecting that to happen. That's really inconvenient. Yeah. So that's a big deal, and that's some pretty awful timing. I got some super glue. I don't know what to do. So the last hill just completely took it out of me, and it was like nothing. I found a little semblance of a trail that goes down to the river there. I'm completely out of water. I got to go that way anyway, so I might just call it a day, even though I've only gone like 60 kilometers. But I'm tired. I'm over 12,000 feet now, so doesn't look like I was the first one to have this idea either. Spot right over there.
Man, it's 7 o'clock a.m. and it's still way too cold to get outside of the tent. This is kind of like opposite to camping in Uzbekistan. When it's hot out, you just want to get up and go as soon as possible to beat the heat and then cycle while it's cool. Here you kind of just want to sleep in so then you can get going once it warms up just a little bit, once that sun comes over the mountain and warms things up. I think you average about the same amount of cycling throughout the day because you're not really taking a break in the middle of the day to avoid the heat. You just go straight through. So I guess this is nice. You get to sleep in. I don't know. It just feels kind of wrong staying in my tent past 7 a.m. I feel like there's some force that's pushing me and trying to propel me to keep going, or else I'm just some lazy bum. So to put this little leg of the journey into perspective, Dushanbe is 2,500 feet in elevation. Right now I'm at 12,500 feet in elevation. The general rule is that the temperature goes down 5 degrees Fahrenheit for every 1,000 feet in elevation you ascend. So I've ascended 10,000 feet in elevation, which means it's now 50 degrees cooler here than it is back in Dushanbe, 5-0. But I'll take freezing cold over sweltering hot any day. At the end of the Pamir highway, I end up in a city called Osh in Kyrgyzstan, and it's basically the same elevation as Dushanbe, so it's gonna be like 115, maybe more degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna just really soak up this cool weather while I can.
So I'll be doing like a final gear rundown video at the end of this trip here, where I just cover like the stuff that worked, the stuff that didn't, blah, blah, blah. But I just wanted to briefly mention this tent that I bought, the Big Agnes Fly Creek HV2 Platinum Edition tent. This thing's been totally kick-ass. It's been a complete game changer. You can see how small it is. And this is a 2-person double-walled tent. And it weighs like almost nothing. So, I mean, every time I climb a hill, I'm so grateful that I just went ahead and bought this tent. If you got $550 laying around that you can just spend on a tent, I highly recommend it. I know that that's probably absurd for the majority of people. Since I am a backpacking guide and I camp for a living, I can justify spending this much on a tent because I'll be using it on a weekly basis. But for the average person, I can totally see how this would be kind of out of your price range. But if you can, I'd buy this thing. And that wasn't a sponsor. Like, I wish Big Agnes would sponsor me because their gear is really freaking expensive. That's a good catch. I'm not gonna adopt a dog. I can't adopt a dog.